Fuck. Okay, now that I got everybody's attention, I guess.
And we're back.
I hope.
John is
All right,
recording
now it's
this
counting
call.
down. Yes.
Word.
Now it's counting down. Anyway, hopefully that other stuff got picked up. But yeah, it feels like it's been about 2 weeks since we talked. Maybe that's because you were on vacation.
Yeah, but
And I try not to text you while you were gone because I didn't want to ruin your vacation.
oh, you wouldn't have
ruin it or
like,
bother your bliss. Your sublime.
It's all good. Like for the most part, we went down to Florida. It was pretty cool. Just more chill time. We didn't really. We
Did
went
you catch that shark?
Did not catch a shark.
Oh my god, we were all waiting for you to catch a shark.
I was super stoked. I thought we were gonna catch a shark, but we did not.
Did you shark back ride?
No. But so let me just tell you a little bit about shark fishing because I had no idea what it entails. So you don't in fishing you usually cast.
I've never fished.
Okay, well, for everybody that's fished that listens to our podcast, the 10 or 12 people that listen to it, first of all, thank you guys.
Yeah, we love all of our fans.
Our ego is getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, this room can't contain it. I told my wife you have to level this wall.
Yeah,
and just give me the space.
Just space it out. So you don't cast like you would in a reel, like when you're fishing. You kayak out in the middle of the ocean. I say middle, it's like 200 yards out, drop it, and there's like an anchor that you have that like is tied the fish, which is the bait is basically a fish that you buy at the fish store and like cut it up, get like all the blood in there, and then you ride the kayak back.
I think they call that chum.
Yeah, chum. Yeah, get the chum out.
You're a real fisherman.
No, I am not a real fisherman. And then you put the pole in the ground and wait for stuff to bite. But yeah, it was really windy and like there was like 2-foot swells and stuff. So like Mike, the guy that I was fishing with, he like paddled out there, and he's like in the Air Force. Like he's a big dude. He's like 6'3", like solidly built.
So how come he doesn't play basketball with us?
Because he lives in Florida.
That's right. That's where you went.
But yeah, so he kayaked out, and like it's like cold and windy, and we're just like, dude, we're gonna catch a shark tonight. We definitely did not, but we saw we saw a jellyfish.
Nice. I got stung by a jellyfish last time I went to the beach.
We did not get stung by it, and then we caught some little crabs, and one of his sons came.
Crabs. I think you need to cut this episode short.
Not that kind of crab. And then his son actually found a shark tooth, which I really think it was my wife that gave it to his son, and then his son told me that he found a shark tooth.
How old is that son?
5.
Oh yeah, come on, man. He found it.
Yeah, he found it. Yeah,
exactly.
Ashley tried to claim it, but he found it.
How dare she? She doesn't listen. She doesn't know what we're saying.
Then we went to the zoo a couple times, which was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I saw some of the pictures.
My wife got to feed a bear.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
With like chopsticks, but I can because you don't hand feed a bear because then you don't have a hand.
Yeah. And then the bear did this thing where it like went on the screen, like put both paws up and like kind of like blew at her. She said she's like it like growled, but it was like a
snarled maybe.
Yeah. I was like, that's why you fed the bear and I didn't. Cause
you were like, look, I know what's gonna happen. If
the
bear's already like, I want to eat you. You have food in your hand. What are you doing?
I will tell you, like, and this is just sorry for the side note, but this is just, I guess, the personal thing. So we're at the zoo, and there's a tiger, there's a lion, there's a bunch of different wolves and coyotes. So there's some predators, like there's a bunch of cool other stuff, like some lemurs, some different kind of monkeys, like
predators, lemurs.
Like the lemurs were pretty sweet though, like, and then the monkey and stuff. But like, so the tiger and the lion are just like looking at us like, I'm gonna eat you. Like, and then the wolves and stuff. Wolves are sick. Like that's like my favorite animal. Like would be a wolf. Like if I could pick what I wanted to be, it would be a wolf.
Okay.
Like that would be awesome.
Okay.
So these wolves like are like not really doing too much, and then like the kids, I mean, they're all like short, they're small. Like there's 3 boys like from 2 to 5. Yeah, no, but seriously, the wolf like started like circling and like sat in front of Emmett, the oldest, and was like howling and
my god.
And I was like, dude, it's
here.
Feeding time at the zoo. Don't like it's like a 16-foot fence and then like some other fence like in between us, and I'm like, dude, this wolf's gonna hop this fence, like,
Oh, 100%.
and eat us, or eat the kids, and I'm gonna feel terrible. How do you tell Mike that his son got
Well,
got
remember
eaten?
how I said last week? I was like, "Hey, well, then I can tell everybody my friend got bit by a shark."
Yeah,
Then you can be like, "Hey, my friend's son got eaten by a wolf."
yeah. That's not a story I
I
want to
hope
tell.
Mike doesn't listen to us. I'm sorry. I've never met you if I offended you. I don't apologize often, but now
It's
I
all
will.
good. No, we're good. No, but I was just like, it was awesome, but then it was just like, wow, like we're so lucky to like. I mean, just
Thank God for this fence.
yes, this fence. Thank you. But no, like, yeah, like animals are cool.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Like, yeah, Mother Nature's wild, right? Like, they still like
How are we at the top of the food chain?
they're still yeah, right. Well, because we can put it behind glass, but they still look at us like fuck this glass. Like, it doesn't-
Opposable thumbs. I'm just gonna say it. That's
probably-
why.
yeah, because you can grip your AR-15. Hey yo, we're gonna talk about Kaepernick too. So here's some sensitive topics up here.
All right, so
Up here in episode 5 of Counting by 7.
so yeah, let's talk a little bit more about football instead of wild, crazy animals that we think are going to eat us and fishing stories. Which, next time I tell this story,
It makes us more personal, I think.
yeah, next time I tell this story, I actually should catch like a little like something in the ocean.
I mean, I think if you say on air quotes for that you're going shark fishing again, I think you should just lie and then tell me the truth afterwards.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah.
So that way,
I caught a 12-foot bullfish.
man, where are your pictures at?
Bull shark.
That's when I ask. Everybody's like, "You don't have any pictures, everybody."
Yeah, sorry. No, not this time. Next time I go shark fishing, I will catch something, whether I do or don't.
Yeah. Well, at least we'll all be excited.
Yeah.
For the lie, potentially.
The good story.
Now, if you come back and tell me the story and your arm's missing, I know it's real. No, not the Dirk Fader arm. Just give him your left. Anyway.
The left.
So man, the opposite of last week, but this week you lost. I won.
Yeah.
So do you want to go through your game first?
Sure.
Because I mean, I watched your game as well. I mean, like I said, I think I need to stop watching your games.
Well, yes, you need to stop. So, I mean, I looked at the stat line, and I will say I was traveling most of the game, and they did not have it on in the airport. I was trying to find it, but we flew.
I didn't send you that link. Like I forgot.
It's okay. So, anyways, I was like watching like GameCast on ESPN, like hardcore, like all right, update. And it didn't seem like it was a terrible game by the Bills, but it just didn't seem great. Like the defense, I think, they gave up about 120 yards rushing, something like that, to Chubbs, and then or 116 to Chubbs, and then other yards to other players. But again, I think run defense needs a little bit of help. Our offense moved the ball pretty well. I think Josh threw for about 260. We rushed for about. I think we need a little bit of help in the rushing game. I think it was about 86 yards total. So we didn't rush like we were accustomed to.
I think that was one of the biggest takeaways from the game was I felt like I didn't see Singletary do a whole lot.
Yeah. Josh, I will say he was about 50% completion percentage. So I don't know how he looked. I don't know how the conditions were. Again, like from optimistically looking at it, we missed 2 field goals.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of missed field goals around the league this week.
A 30-some yarder and then a 53-yarder to tie it or send it to overtime. So, you make one of those 2 field goals, we might be talking a little bit different here. But, overall, I'm a little bit more worried. Like now I'm kind of like, all right, Cleveland is a better team than what their record shows. I think the talent would suggest that. I think, we played well enough to win, but we didn't. So that's a little concerning. Now Miami, we play this week. Talk a little bit about that, being that Miami, since they lost to us, they've won 2 out of 3, including the Colts, which the Colts have been playing pretty well. Although I think Brissett was injured in that game, so that does make a little bit of difference. But they have won 2 out of 3, and they're playing well, and they're getting their safety back. What's his name? I forget. Rashad Jones, maybe. But they're getting one of their better playmakers on defense back. So, if we lose to Miami, I might be in a little bit.
Yes, it is Rashad Jones. Sorry.
Yes, it is.
I was thinking because I do like defensive backs, but it is Rashad Jones.
But I think overall, like Cleveland was a very desperate team. If they lost that game, no chance.
Well, there's a lot of media pressure on them, and as much as I still admire Baker, and I'm teetering on him because I think the media pressure's getting to him, but he's a young quarterback, and they're going to grill him. Like you're going to have to go through some. You're going to have to go through some stuff. So
and he played well enough to win as well. I mean, there's some good things. We had a 4-down stop on the goal line, which was pretty big, especially with our rush defense. Not playing well the last 4 weeks, really since Harrison Phillips got hurt. I think the biggest takeaway for me, and again, not seeing the game live because we were traveling, was more like Josh didn't turn the ball over, which is great. I would like to see us run the ball a little bit more. But our rush defense right now is killing us. I mean, I think if we can't stop the run, we're not.
Chubb is a very good running back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, our rush defense isn't blowing it up either.
But I think that's for us right now. Like, we don't have the Packers. I think the Packers are more of a explosive offense at this, or have the potential to be an explosive offense. I think there's a little bit more trust in. I say a little bit more trust. I don't mean that like disrespect. There's a lot more trust in Aaron Rodgers being able to air it out, make plays, score.
Sure.
Than Josh Allen right now. Now, I think Josh Allen is doing a good job. Is he doing a great job?
But you're also supporting your quarterback, and I was talking about this earlier with one of my friends. He was saying, he was commenting on our podcast, and we'll go into the mushy stuff, what he said later. But he was saying how, since we're both fans of small-ish teams, and I was like, yeah, small-ish. And Green Bay's Lambeau's in the middle of a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Buffalo's a small market team. The only reason I say that we're not a small market team is because we have Rodgers. But again, just going back to the Allen Robinson thing, he chose not to come to Green Bay. So that shows that even though we have Rodgers, talent doesn't always draw talent.
Yeah.
Because some of these players who I guess some of these players who want to have swag will say they're not going to want to live in a state that's cold 300 days out of the year.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
And that's fine, but if people want to go there to win rings, they know Devontae M stuck around obviously through his contract extension. He's like, yep, I know where I'm going to be. So continue.
Yeah. Just say there's a little bit more trust in your offense to score points than there is in us, and we just haven't proven the ability to score points on a weekly basis. And I think part of that is we're still pretty young as far as our quarterback position. I think Brian Daboll calls a good game. Are there some things that he could do better? Yeah, probably. There's some things that everybody can do better. So I mean, it's tough. A lot of people still are I just don't like the play calls. And to me, the players are saying it, and a lot of it comes down to execution. And I think, just on offense, there's some things that we need to do better. Everybody's, ripping on Josh that he hasn't really been able to hit the deep ball. But, everybody, last year was able to do that pretty well. And that was the only offense we had. Whereas this year, we're throwing the ball, 15 to 20 yards a lot better. And then, 5 to 15, or line of scrimmage, to 15 yards, we're throwing a lot better. And I think Josh's completion percentage is up at least 10% this year. I think he's in the 60s, whereas last year he was 53%. Now he's closer to 60%. So that's a huge jump as far as completion percentage. And, we're not hitting on the ball that he was hitting well last year. So, if we can figure out the deep ball a little bit more, and I think our offense is going to be okay. Running the ball, some of that's play calling, some of that's execution on the line. And we have a very deep line, but I wouldn't say we have a dominant line, if that makes sense. Like we have
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
proven NFL players, but is anybody a Pro Bowler? I think Mitch Morris might be the
What
only.
are Pro Bowls though, man?
You
Be
know,
real.
they,
All Pro is better than Pro Bowl. Let's be real.
for sure.
Like Pro
Pro
Bowl's
Bowl is
fan
more
based.
of a
It's hype based.
yeah.
That's all it is.
So I mean, do we have that that All Pro like guard? Do we have that All Pro tackle? At this point, I don't think we do. I mean, Deion Dawkins is a serviceable left tackle, and then Ty and Seki and then Cody Ford, are still rotating at the right tackle spot. Cody Ford could be a good guy, but he's a rookie and he really, he's probably a better guard to be honest. Like just, and that was kind of what they said, coming out. Like Cody Ford, could be a really really good guard, and he's a serviceable tackle.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, just to note on that, Jenkins off our line, the rookie, he's not. I mean, he's not going to make it in for rookie of the year, but he's been killing it. You're just on that guard. I mean, it's stupid on how he's playing. I just had a comment.
Oh, nice.
So,
yeah,
but,
I
mean, hey, when your rookies are doing work, man, that's just it's great from there.
Oh yeah. So
Miami's a bounce back game for you think?
Yeah, I think Miami's a bounce back game for us. I think they.
Now, if you guys lose to Miami,
I go from right now. I'm like kind of like
we'll get some hot takes from Justin then next week.
So right now, I'm still feeling good. I feel like the playoffs are definitely within reach.
Miami just won 2 in a row?
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
So feel good about where we're at right now. We've lost to some good teams that have been desperate.
Yeah, and I think we said last week that Cleveland, again, on paper is not a terrible team. They just, for whatever reason, it's just not, whether it's Freddie Kitchens or whoever, just it's not clicking.
Yeah. And I mean, they beat the brakes off Baltimore. Baltimore's playing really well right now too.
Yeah, which it was crazy because again, and before we actually, I think our other episodes made it, before we figured out uploads, I said Lamar Jackson's just impressing the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And I even crapped on him during our fantasy draft.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look at me now, dude.
He's probably the leading scorer in our fantasy league.
I think so. But yeah, super impressive. It's fun to watch him. That spin move. Whew.
Yeah. But yeah, if we lose to Miami, I think this is a whole different conversation next week. But right now, I feel pretty good.
You guys should win that game. I mean, you guys have a secondary that can beat Ryan Fitzpatrick, I feel.
Yeah. And Fitzpatrick put up some numbers against us in the first game, but we were able to, we intercepted him, a big play by Tre'Davious White, and then we intercepted him again later. So
you were talking about, or wait, no, I'm sorry. The middle linebacker is Edmonds, not Tre'Davious White.
Yeah, Edmonds.
We were talking about hands.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll be okay. We still have this week. We have Miami, so that's a big bounce back game. I think we have Denver coming up here soon. Which Denver, Joe Flacco's on IR. I think they're ready to fold. Their defense is still pretty solid, but I think we'll be able to score enough there. It's at home, so I mean, I still
cold
feel
up there right now, right?
I still feel pretty good.
Yeah, cold weather game. I think it could be if it's you have all that Arctic air up there. I don't know.
Yeah,
don't watch the weather during this time of year. Just go outside.
Yeah, just go outside.
Yep,
check it out.
Stick your arm out the door.
But yeah, I mean, so that's pretty much my thoughts. It's not quite as good as normal, just because I didn't get to see any of the game. I watched some of the highlights, but that's just not the same.
Yeah. No.
So
yeah, I'll supply you with a link next time. It's phone friendly.
Hey. Ooh, is it?
Yeah. Sorry.
Travels well.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, I mean, hey, Panthers came to town, without Cam Newton, hey, apparently he might be coming to Chicago, so. We get to crap on him twice a year. That's cool, too.
Yeah.
But it was really going to be the battle of the backs, and I think we had talked about that, too. And Green Bay did an overly impressive job of shutting down McCaffrey, especially on that last play.
So I will say we were picking, we had gotten to the we just got to the airport. I think we were picking up pizza at that point, on the way home, because that's where we ate. And I saw the last 32 seconds of that game, and that was the only football I really saw this weekend.
It was snowing hard then at that point too.
It was snowing, and I'm like, okay, and I was like, oh, like 16-20. Was it 16-24?
Something like
or
yeah,
22, something like that.
Yeah.
Uh,
They needed to go for 2, I think, at that point.
yeah. And then I was just like, interesting. And then they call that play. Like, seriously, Carolina calls a draw? Like,
I mean, but you got to think, I guess
it's
McCaffrey's their best player right now,
he
right?
is their best player, but, like, that was a terrible play call, wasn't it?
I don't know.
But
I don't know. Because here's the thing. Like,
it also looked like live, it looked like he got in.
It really I got to pull up my Twitter here for something for you, but
it looked like he would. I think he did not, but live it really looked like he got in.
Look, obviously I'm gonna say we're short or he was short, but listen, like, and I'll pull up the play right now. Brian, whatever his last name, Baldner, Baldinger, whoever he is, but at Baldy NFL, he had put it up about talking about did he or didn't he or whatever, and I just commented, "It's been 3 days. Who gives a fuck?" And then he replied, "Are you always so friendly on Wednesdays?" Got 2 likes, one by me and one by some other dude. And I said, "Now that I've had coffee, it's been 3 days." Like, defense, man. Look, our run defense has not been great, and so that's the other reason they probably called that play, right? They're like, "Hey, let's test them." But our defense all year has been bad up until the red zone, or excuse me, not bad, but our run defense has been leaky until the red zone.
That's fair.
And so and the other thing too, I don't know where these mysterious people have been saying Green Bay gets all the calls. Like, we brought the fucking referees back in that Seattle game. I don't want to hear it about Green Bay gets all the calls. I don't care. I'm not complaining about Rodgers taking hits. I'm not calling any of that. But what I'm saying is, it's nice to be on the other end of the call, because I can relate. So I don't care if he was in. Whatever. He could have been in for all I care. And they still called him off. Like, that's cool. I'll take it. Because I'm not going to apologize for breaks. Like,
I mean, at the end of the day, like,
as a fan, because that's not my job to play. As a fan, I'm not going to apologize for breaks. They can be as competitive sportsmanship like as they want to be.
There's a line judge at the goal line. And I think from the camera angle, and again, I will say I watched 32 seconds of football. And this was pretty much it.
Green Bay's whole game.
So
no, but I mean, that was one of the biggest plays of the game. I mean,
so the line judge had the good angle, like the good camera angle, which ironically, and again, I know we've talked about this before, but if the NFL wanted to get replay right, they'd put 2 cameras on either end of the goal line and just say, all right, this is what it's going to be.
Yep. Well, the other thing too is watching it live and watching the replay back. Like,
I think they got it right.
They called him out. Well, I think so too, because his body, where the ball was and where his, like, I guess it was butt that was actually down.
Could have extended the
If
ball.
he extended, he's in. That's the thing, is
but
he was still
so
holding
low.
It
was so low.
He was holding it at least.
It wasn't even at his chest. I didn't.
Yeah,
think.
at least at his diaphragm level minimum, because it wasn't completely at his abdomen. It definitely wasn't in his chest. But so, that's why he didn't score, is because he didn't extend.
Yeah. So I mean, I think they got it right, and I mean, I think most of the time they do get things right in the NFL. Like, it's easy to. There's
just a lot of scrutiny. I mean, of course, I'm going to say, it was a great call.
When you can slow it down frame by frame, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, like the next day, like it's easy.
Sure, you can say whatever.
Yeah,
you can pick it apart, whatever. And that's why I said what I said. And it's cool, like when somebody, I guess, is verified on Twitter, or some, like, analyst or whatever comments back. But it's just like we're at a point where it's like, oh, look what they did wrong. Like, you want the rest to be better? Quit shitting on them Monday through Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like, you got, like, it's not, because I think we talk about it too, or I think we had said it, like, call the games 100% equal both ways. But if everyone else that watches sports, and these people that get paid, like Skip Bayless, they get paid millions of dollars to say stupid shit on TV. They get paid all this money to do that. Don't let them
sponsor us.
Yeah, right.
To say stupid stuff.
Hey, I mean, yeah, hey. Just, how big's a check, man? Like, I will say something dumb for you. So I will sign on the line. Just depends. There's some stuff I might not say.
There's got to be, and there also has to be a fair amount of zeros at the end of each check.
Yeah, keep on writing them. Anyway, but you can't damn the refs the whole time, because then it gives a fan, because there's people who take what Skip says, what Colin says as law, and run with it.
See, I think those
and
are,
in my opinion, those are the two worst people out there. So
It doesn't matter who it is. Like if you take if you take what we say and think of it as law, and
be the fan you want to be. It's what we say. It's just
yeah,
our perspectives on our teams.
yeah. We're not saying that we're like these professional analysts that's all we do. No, we go to work Monday through Friday, and we just do this because we like it, and we say what we feel, and I think that's great.
We do have some stuff to back up some stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I don't think we're ignorant.
Because we got some stuff we'll talk about during the bye in terms of our draft pick of Rashawn Gary that people all of a sudden aren't happy with. But
like when you take like what Skip or Stephen A. or any one of these like personalities, like, and I'll touch on this a little bit. I think we'll talk about it next week more.
Yeah,
but
because I had the bye and like we haven't made it past the goal line stand.
But like Josina,
it's cool though because I mean it brings up a lot of.
Josina Anderson like reports that she wants to or that AB wants to talk about his side of the story.
Who cares?
I'm sorry, but if you're not on the field, like if you put yourself in a position, like I'm sorry, like your side of the story has already been told.
Yep.
And
you're telling it by not complying.
Yeah. And then the other thing is Josina Anderson, like as far as sideline reporters, like I can't stand her for some reason. Because like she's the same one that I think was the leak for the Philadelphia Eagles saying, "Oh, there's they're questioning Wentz." They're
right.
And the Eagles all of a sudden are playing really well right now. Now maybe something did happen, but it's like in the NFL, like there's certain stuff that
a lot of drama.
There's certain stuff like I feel like certain people try and make the story instead of report the news.
Right.
It's like,
well, you have to. I mean, because
it's like the trade deadline. Like the trade. It's going to be so big.
Because we can read the same stats that they give anybody there, but they're, whatever. I'm not jealous of them. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it's just like, like, come on. Like, if the biggest thing, again, going back to the refs, like, you want them to be better. Let them make these calls and just be like, this is why this is a decent call by my book. Like, you don't have to agree with all of them.
Make them full-time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that too.
I mean, that's one argument. And then the other one, instead of having this New York hub, like just put one person in every NFL stadium.
Yeah, let him be the call.
And say, all right, this is your replay guy. Hey, this is what we need to do, like every day. Like, okay, so that's 16 more people that you have to hire.
It's a little sketchy having it all go to New York, right? Especially with the playoff seedings.
Yeah.
Not calling anything, of course, because they're still playing a game.
I mean, and you look at the pass interference, call. What have they've returned what, like 5?
Yeah, they've been really bad, and they've said that this year that a lot haven't, and there's some that maybe should. It's just bad. Like let's not be able to challenge passing like
again.
Let's not be able to do that.
Just challenge everything.
Oh God,
like
the games take so long already.
But I mean, it's okay. It happens once a week. It's
Jesus. I know, but like even the extra replay now is just makes it drag. But anyway, so now past the goal line stand, which is very impressive.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, another 3 touchdown day. Just awesome for my fantasy team, but awesome to see Aaron Jones start just killing it. Not trying to dump on Mike McCarthy, but Mike McCarthy, that's how you use running backs. And I think our team plays a little swagger too, because I mean we've seen Aaron like that mic'd up that came out where he says I want 5, and people are like saying, "Oh, do you want to throw 5?" Like he's want to score 5 times, however it lined up. And if Aaron Rodgers was like, "Hey, we're gonna give it to Aaron Jones 3 times on McCaffrey's face," hell yeah. That's the type of attitude that I'm talking about.
I want more, like, as much as I want to do well, I want my boys to do well too.
Yeah, exactly. Like
it doesn't matter how you score, as long as you score.
Yeah, if you have more than they do at the end of the game, it's over.
I mean, I think we've talked about it so many times. Like quarterback wins don't count as a stat.
Nope.
But for your team, like as a fan, I want my quarterback to win. Like,
well, yeah,
it's not a stat. But W's.
But when he wins, the team wins.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I mean,
W's.
Yeah, and quarterbacks throw 500-yard games and lose all the time. Well, I won't say all the time, but it happens.
That's
but yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was a very good bounce back game, and to win before the bye, to be 8-2, and again, like to do it in that fashion, and then it starts snowing in Green Bay, and then it starts picking up, and it's like. If you're a true Packers fan, you can't ask for anything else, but there are people that are still pissed off. Like, that is such a cool visual experience. Like, if you're there, it's awesome. I've been in Lambeau when it snowed, when Favre was still playing against Detroit. So that's a big game.
That's pretty cool.
But even as a fan, whether
Did you
you've
have
been
to
there
kill
or
anybody
not,
for those tickets?
huh?
You have to kill anybody for those tickets?
That was way before then.
Oh, okay. Who got you those tickets?
I don't know. I was in like
I'm just
seventh grade. I don't remember, but
Did Dad get those tickets for you?
probably. Yeah, exactly right. Anyway, if you know that joke, you know. So, but anyway, so even as a fan, it's like, this is a cold weather team. It snows. We don't have a dome. We're not like the Vikings who need to add a dome because they're pussies. Like that's Packers football.
Can we make a rule though? Like all teams north of the Mason-Dixie have to play outside because it's football.
That's fair. Yeah, exactly. Elements, right? Rain, mud.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like it is kind of sad that the Vikings don't play. I mean, I get it. It's
They're
cold.
sad. So anyway,
It's cold outside. I get it. But Green Bay is just as cold.
it's colder. Well, I don't know if it's colder, but I mean it is the type of cold that like you feel it in your bones. It's rough.
Yeah.
So, but I mean to see the offense like start, picking it up, and then the play calling by Matt LaFleur, that third down play to Devontae Adams, like he's using his playmakers because he's like, all right, this corner blows. Devontae's gonna put him in a blender real quick, and we're gonna pick up these 22 or whatever it was. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to dump on McCarthy because we were talking about that last week, and we'll actually get into that at some point. But
Bye-week material.
Potentially, depends on how this Kaepernick conversation goes. But I mean it's not I don't want to say it's a gutsy play call. It's smart play calling because it's like, all right, we're putting it in the hands of our playmakers. It's the connection from Aaron to Devontae. I can't remember if it was a play action or not, but still. But even if it was a play action, Aaron Jones is like killing it. Play action's working. Huh, amazing.
Weird.
Because if you throw it 40 times in a row and call a play action, guess what? No one's buying it.
Sorry about your luck.
Yeah. And so, to beat Carolina with, someone who's MVP, in the MVP category, I don't know why we can't talk about Aaron Jones. He has more rushing touchdowns currently than McCaffrey. I'm not going to say that Jones is better, but if we're talking about scoring and what he does for the team as a most valuable player, Aaron Jones should be in the mix. He's doing stuff out of the backfield. He's running it, and I mean, he's blocking, which his pass blocking has like taken a giant leap because that was his biggest problem.
Yeah.
Is we put in Jamal Williams on on a play action, but people knew we were passing because he's better run blocking. But Aaron Jones is just killing it, so I don't know why we can't put him in there. Why can't he be in the mix?
I think
because everybody's sleeping on us.
I mean, I think he probably is in the mix just because, like, he's had
You're seeing a smaller role because he's not breaking out 80-yard runs, but again, the same reason why it's fun to watch McCaffrey play. It's funner for me to have these guys stick around for 4 years because if Aaron is so good at passing and the other Aaron is so good at running, Devontae's good at getting open. If you can mix all those equally, weighs less on their body, weighs less on the team.
Yeah.
Your defense gets rest, your offense gets rest, and when everything's humming,
I think with McCaffrey, like the whole MVP is like
this is the best player. Like they don't have other talent on that team. We actually do.
Yeah, you guys do. So that kind of hurts you. It helps you.
McCaffrey, Kuechly. That's about it.
Yeah, you got one on defense. You got one on
DJ
offense.
Moore as a second-year player.
Yeah, I think he's a good receiver.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely. Hey, I just traded for him in our fantasy league, but anyway. So, but yeah, I mean. Carolina doesn't have anybody else because Cam's out. Like I said, it's Luke Kuechly. Peppers is retired. So, but we have Aaron's, we have the Smiths, we've got Devontae, we've got Jair Alexander, we've got Darnell Savage. Like we have players.
I think here's the MVP argument for me. Just all anytime. So if you take that player away, so if you take Aaron Jones away, are the Packers still successful?
Yep.
Okay. You take McCaffrey away now.
Nope.
and I think
I know. Honestly, that's a great point actually to put it in that perspective because if you take Aaron Rodgers away, I like Boyle way more than I like Hundley, and I will root for anyone who the new thing is carry the G, as Aaron said, until you give me a reason not to. Like if it's production, if it's you're quitting on the team like Martellus Bennett, whatever, I'll support him, but. Yeah, right now there is no way Doyle. Listen to Misfits lately, but there's no way that Boyle carries the team like Rodgers does.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
I mean, I just think that's always the argument for most valuable player. Like, if you take him away,
Fantastic argument.
Could you?
I'm going to steal that for life.
No, you should.
Because I'm going to see my cousins for Thanksgiving, and we had a big, well, one argument, but it's a big discussion last Thanksgiving. You're killing me on why Todd Gurley's better than Zeke. I'm like, look, you're Skins fans. That's why you don't like him. But he's better. My opinion could be wrong again, but it's my opinion.
Ask Todd Gurley's knees how that argument's going.
Wow. Hey, my knee was sore this morning. I knew it was cold outside.
Yeah, I mean, Todd Gurley is nice. Don't get me wrong, but like he just and it's going to happen to Zeke at some point too. Like if you touch the ball 260 times a year, in the NFL as a running back, you're not going to hold up long term. Like and that's because you take a beating every single week. Like that sports science, I always reference this. Like back when Ray Lewis was playing.
I do like sports science.
Sports science is pretty cool. And they said Ray Lewis tackling somebody, and this is like Ray Lewis's last year, maybe second to last year. When you get tackled like by him, it is like being in a 35-mile-an-hour car crash.
An old Ray Lewis.
That's old Ray Lewis. Like, and
Nick Bosa coming in on a hot one right now. Yeah. It's like what?
Yeah, I don't know. So, maybe 40.
It's a lot, but yeah, and so just to there's not a whole lot to dissect in the Green Bay game because I just felt like there wasn't a whole lot that was really wrong. Sure, we gave up points and the defense did its biggest job on the goal line, so I can't be but so upset on their whole performance when they literally win us the game, essentially.
Yeah. The game was on the line and they did not lose it.
And we're healthy going into the bye week.
Yeah,
we're healthy and we're winning. We're 8-2 and 3-0 in the division. Coming out of the bye week, we play San Francisco, which I don't know, man. After last week with San Francisco, I don't know. I feel like with our pass rush, if he gets to Garoppolo, he can't hang. I feel like if you disrupt Garoppolo, that's when things start to unravel. Not to say that their defense doesn't have players because, well, remember how I said last week. Wow, I think I said last week that Bakhtiari is playing hurt because he looked off, but last week looked pretty good.
Yeah.
So he's going to the bye, get some extra rest. I don't know if Bosa's going. Bosa will get home if they move him around at some point, just out of whatever.
He's good.
Yeah, he's gonna he'll get a sack, and if he doesn't get any sacks, then hey, that'd be great. But I don't want to say that's their only threat, but again, I think the win really relies on getting to Garoppolo, and they flex the game to Sunday night, which now I gotta stay up, which I hate. I have to take a nap now. So, God, dude,
take a nap.
Think about how long I gotta wait to actually watch Packers football again.
Yeah,
no Packers football next week, and I gotta wait all damn day the following Sunday to watch football.
That's funny.
That is miserable, but it's good though because I want him to get healthy. Love the camaraderie and everything that's still going on. I believe Preston Smith has 10 sacks now, so he's buying the whole defense Rolexes. Apparently, the whole defense. They both got them fat contracts, so they got it. But I like that, and we'll get into more next week during the bye week since obviously I won't have a game to talk about. There are fans who are like, that's so stupid, blah, blah. I'm like, look, dude, if you're captains, in essence, even though Zadarius is the captain, is like, hey, if you guys help me get to a point where I can get 10 sacks, because the defensive backs have to, guard to allow enough time for him to get home, but he also has to be there quick enough. It's a balance to both. And so if the quarterback's trying to hold the ball longer because no one's covered, then he's getting stats. He's like, hey, I'm going to get you guys Rolexes. That's an incentive. Sure, the incentive should be they're already getting paid $30 million or whatever to play football good. But
it's like your boys. It's like...
Yeah, exactly. It's the people that you see and spend most of your time with for...
It's showing appreciation. It's showing...
exactly. It's valuing your teammates.
Hey, right now,
for each other.
I got this contract, but I know I didn't get this contract because I did it by myself.
Right.
Truly, no NFL player earns their contract by themselves.
To be fair, he did get it by himself because he played for DC. But he's not getting the stats now by himself.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? You never do anything alone, especially in football. Football is one of probably one of the most intricate like team sports that you can play.
Yeah.
Like you are so
People don't
reliant.
look at that like there's a bunch of people hitting each other. Like there's a lot more going on.
Yeah, I mean, it truly is. And I mean, I played a lot of different sports. I played baseball, football, basketball, volleyball. Like, I played a lot of different
That
sports.
turf fade going on.
Yeah, and like football, truly, like, especially your skilled positions. Like, if you don't have support, you're not going to do well.
Yeah.
And if you're a lineman or a D lineman, or you're not going to get a lot of credit for anything you do, even if you're the best. You're still not going to get a lot.
There have been defensive linemen in history, but they stood out from. I mean, but they also had like supporting cast, but not always. I mean, there are people that do blow it up, but it's rare.
Yeah, I mean, look at Aaron Donald this year. Like, probably,
dude, it's so bizarre, isn't it?
Like, I mean, he's
so
still a
bizarre.
great player, but he's not putting up the same numbers because Ndamukong Suh was a great player in his own right, and it's just like
he was a pile of shit, but
I mean, he, as far as a person, yeah, of course. I mean, his.
But yeah, I mean, no, like, yeah, we had to play him twice a year, and it's you think about your nose tackle a whole lot around that time because you're like, I hope you lifted well this week.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, and that did free up Aaron a whole lot, and he's getting doubled and triple teamed, which is wild to see.
A triple team.
Yeah, it happened in Atlanta.
Oh no, I know. I'm just saying, like, it's
wild. It's just so crazy to see.
Yeah, let's triple team our nose because he's that good.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
and then chip him with a back just in case.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, so that's cool, man, and I love that attitude and all that stuff, and so it's just good to see, man. Like, if you're a bitter fan because there's an actual Twitter there's a Twitter comment. It was like, if Aaron was playing better, we'd be undefeated. Like, why does it matter to be undefeated? Like, if you lose, you learn. Like, every game we've lost, we've immediately won the following week.
Yeah.
How do you not comprehend that? Yeah. I don't understand what more you want. What is Aaron not doing? Like, are there times where he holds the ball? Like, think about how a game is broadcast. Like, that's why I have said I think going to a game live is so much more fun because you can see what's happening downfield. Aaron, and people have critiqued him saying he doesn't throw enough 50-50 balls. Like,
50-50.
You want to throw, like, there are times.
You know what 50-50 means?
Yeah. There are times, yes, where it's appropriate, like the free plays, and there are just times where it's like, hey, Devontae is on an island with his corner. But again, Matt LaFleur using his weapons. You got to give those guys chances. That's why you drafted them, because they make shit happen.
Yeah.
Now, but at the same time, if it's a busted play and Aaron's out of the pocket, he's not going to force a pass when he already has to think about not getting sacked.
Yeah.
So there are times where he's holding it for 5 seconds and we're all left wondering, like, what's happening downfield because we can't see. And then, yeah, I mean, maybe it's a third down or maybe it's like a second down and we don't convert. But then when they show it, then it's like, okay, that makes sense. Or he talks about it later and it's like, look, like, if you win the game, like, and he does stuff that you don't like, what is there to complain about? Like, he didn't complete an extra pass. My God.
Well, I think it's always funny, like, and I see some things, like, when you're talking about, John Brown was running wide open, like, for us, like, and Josh Allen's rolling out to the right, Brown's lined up in the left, or
you're not gonna do that unless you use Brett Favre.
Like, you don't want, if he throws that ball, you're like, why did Josh throw that ball?
Exactly.
Or why did Aaron throw that ball?
Yeah, exactly.
He was wide, like.
I mean, now Aaron can throw balls across his body with stupid accuracy, but it's different.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying, like, any quarterback doesn't. Like,
I understand what you're saying. Like, you can't justify not or overlooking that receiver. It's like, dude, it's crossbody. Like, you realize what's going to happen.
Mahomes, Josh, Aaron, like Tom Brady. If Tom Brady did it, people would probably be like, oh, it was.
Speaking of Tom Brady, apparently, my buddy just messaged me when we started recording. This is from Tom Brady. Tom Brady says he has 5 to 6 more seasons.
Bull.
Says 47 sounds like the right age to retire. Now, if you have watched a single Patriots game this year, you know that when Tom Brady runs, it looks like someone taking a dump. It is pathetic.
I mean, unless
is Tom Brady a better athlete than most people that I know? Yes, most likely. But do I have friends that can run faster than Tom Brady right now? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure my dad runs a faster mile than Tom Brady right now.
Maybe.
If he's really trying.
I mean,
Hey, man, you got to think.
hey, your dad's a runner. So, I mean,
Well, now he is. but yeah. And so just to tie up everything, man, like going to the bye healthy with a win, like, we play a tough opponent coming out, but we're healthy. Like,
you have 2 weeks to prepare.
Yeah, and we're coming. Yeah, and because they have to play another game, and I'm not wishing injuries or whatever, but it's like there are variables that can happen for them. I'm gonna definitely be looking at their game. So there's stuff like that. But again, it is San Francisco. They only lost one game so far. Got to take them seriously, like you said. 2 weeks to prepare, healthy. If we come out and lose, we're 8-3. Like we're 8-3 to an NFC opponent that we could see again. We just learn more about ourselves and about them.
Yeah, it's tough to beat somebody twice.
Knowledge is power, to be cliche.
Ooh, knowledge is power.
I mean, it is because there's a whole methodology to game planning and stuff. And I just feel like we're on again, when we lose so far, we win. We have yet to lose back-to-back games.
Yeah.
So I really feel like the game planning and the culture in the Green Bay locker room is just 30 times different than it ever was.
Yeah.
Whether that's people studying on their own or the team coming together as a group, whether it's buying Rolexes if you get this amount of stuff, whatever. I don't care what it takes. I don't care what's working. And it could just be Matt LaFleur. And I really think that a lot of it is. And happy birthday, Coach, by the way. He turned 40 today.
Damn, he's old.
And so, again, I have no reason to think Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur can do no wrong. Like, what even if for whatever reason we don't make, the championship game. I think I'd said that before. Like, I think the championship game is definitely our ceiling. Because at that point, if you win, you go to the Super Bowl. But start with the division win. I mean, that would be great. We'll just see what happens from there. But it's just if you're not enjoying this, if you're a fan that's like, oh, well, we're 8-2, we could be better. Like, suck it. Like, I don't even know what to say at that point. There's nothing to be bitter about. 8-2. We had 6 wins last year.
Yeah, I mean that's where. We had 6 wins last year.
Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I mean, 6.
Yeah, we're there. So, yeah, I feel the same way about us. Like, I think we have a little bit. Excuse me. We have a little bit more to be cautiously optimistic about. Just because we don't have the proven players on offense, but our defense is solid. Our defense is proven. Like, if we can shore up our run defense, we're golden. Do you want to do picks real quick at the end?
No, I mean, so we're at 47-ish minutes. I wanted to let's talk about this Kaepernick workouts for just a few minutes. Let's at least give everybody an hour.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said. I mean, it's just some games, man. Like, it was just a good game. It was a good game to watch for us.
Yeah.
So I don't have complaints. Like, sure, we can be better on certain areas, but after a win and what the defense did, like, it's those plays, like the goal line plays, like, that you remember. Like, sure, we gave up 16 points, but what about that defense at the goal line?
Yeah.
Like,
you stopped him when it counted.
Exactly. And so it's Kaepernick, man. So he's getting he's getting an open workout, and people are going to come evaluate him.
Yeah. And the NFL is not releasing who's going to be at that workout.
Yeah, I mean, there's like speculation. There's people saying like, oh, I mean, I guess teams have said that they're going, whether that's PR move or not. Like
every NFL team is going to have some eyes on this, whether it's from afar or from there will be a handful of teams that don't have a representative at all. But I feel like everybody's going to have someone there be like, all right, just to do our due diligence, like.
Yeah, and here's my take on the whole Kaepernick thing. If he was still good at football, he'd have a job.
Yeah.
He's
turned down second string drops.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, people don't think about that. Like, he has turned down jobs. Like, okay, look, you've been out of the game for this long, this long, and this long. 2 years is a lot. Like, sure, Marshawn Lynch was gone a year and came back. He did all right.
Marshawn Lynch was also a running back.
Yeah, different position, different need. But, and again, quarterback-driven league, are there starters that Kaepernick could beat out? But that's the thing, is these people have earned their jobs. Why can't he be held to the same system? Like, he has to earn it. This is an earn it league. Yeah. Like, you don't want to take second string money. Well, that sucks. Like, bye. I mean, I don't know
is
what else
what
to
your
say.
value is right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, people are saying, well, it's because of the protests, like people blackballing. I'm like, no, we're not gonna get political into too big a thing. I will say that everybody has the right to freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Period. Put a pin in that. The way that he handles certain things, whether or not you agree or disagree or whatever, like his last few games as quarterback were not good.
No.
And again, what you leave on tape in the NFL is your last performance. If your last performance is a Super Bowl, Nick Foles, you're probably going to get a job.
Yep.
If your last performance is a 3-interception game, you're probably not going to get a job. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, I don't understand why this is so hard to comprehend. We're not like people want to be Kaepperknocking, and it sounds like we're like Kaepperknocking.
How long do you have to think about that?
At least 5 minutes before we started talking about it. I was like, what's going to be such a good title this week?
Kaepperknocking.
Kaepperknocking. But still, like, that's why. And I mean, that's my opinion, and you could agree or disagree. I really don't care.
No,
like,
I agree. I mean,
again, it's
Kaepernick had his day where he was a serviceable quarterback. I wouldn't say he was elite. I mean,
no, I don't think he ever got. Even if he had won that Super Bowl, he still have to prove it the following year. I don't think he ever got to elite.
No. I mean, he was good.
Definitely.
He's an athlete.
He's definitely the bringer of what, like these multi-threat quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, I mean, and he still could run that in the NFL right now.
Sure.
Like
I mean, his legs are long as crap, so his stride is like 7 yards long.
He's fast. He's big enough to be able to take a few hits.
Yeah, he says he's in shape, and here's the thing. And I posted on my personal Facebook, which obviously I'm not going to put out here on the internet, but what I said was, because this is from TotalSports.com. Cowboys fans are threatening to boycott if team signs Colin Kaepernick. I did hear a fan talk about if they release Dak and sign Kaepernick, I'm just not going to watch football until Kaepernick's gone. Like, look. And this is what my Facebook status said.
Well, you're not going to release Dak for Kaepernick. Like, he'd be a good backup for Dak, but...
Well, this is what I said. Like, going into projected offseason, because, like, we're in the second half of the season and everything, right? I said, listen, comma, if he's as healthy as he says, still has quarterback IQ, he could, in all caps, compete with Dak for a job, IMO, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. For sure. They're the same quarterback.
Right. Dak's
Kaepernick
terrible.
Probably had a better arm.
Right. Dak's not awful, but then it's at that point, it's like, okay, who makes better reads? Who makes better deep ball throws? Who makes better? It comes down to a decision-making thing.
Like, I don't know the answer to that. Like,
right.
I could not tell you. Like,
so
that is a great comparison, actually. Dak and
just
Kaepernick.
Saying.
All right, right now, if you're
I don't have all the answers.
If you're Jerry Jones, sign Kaepernick to a 2-year deal right now.
Sure.
Say, I sign you to a 2-year minimal deal. Like, I don't know.
Earn it deal. Like, here's the thing is, like, if you're going to sign him to an earn it deal, like, you have to give him field time. But then you also have to maybe give him some sort of incentive in the offseason for workouts or whatever.
No. You sign him
preseason.
Sign him to a 2-year deal right now, like that prove it deal. And that gives, I mean, that way of Dak, okay.
Dak is injured, you got a mobile quarterback,
Not even. Like, your negotiations with Dak. Like,
yeah, that's true. Like, all right, well.
Like, that is perfect. That's a Jerry Jones thing to do, too.
I mean, it is. And I mean, it's a Jerry Jones thing to draw publicity because it'll draw ratings. That's what he cares about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like,
but again, like, it just goes, it's all encompassing going back to that. Like, he turned down jobs. Like, people can't say no one's offering him a job. Like, now they offered him jobs. He just didn't like how much they were offering the pay. Yeah. But again, just to prove my point a little bit more, with, Jair, Kevin King, and Tramon Williams out there, like, people are beating out Josh Jackson for a job. Like, Ibrahim Campbell's playing his corner, but he comes in the nickel, beating out Kevin King for a job. It's a performance-based league.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are. Yeah. If he was good enough.
I mean, but then people make the argument, right? Like, if Gronk tomorrow says, hey, I'm coming back, and the Patriots start him, it's like, oh, well, Gronk can get a job. It's like, yeah, Gronk's won a Super Bowl. What'd I just say?
Gronk
literally made the play to put the Patriots in position to win.
Yeah.
His last thing on tape was, man, this guy can win us a championship.
Yeah.
Whatever Kaepernick's last handful of performances was, there was a game where he did have more incompletions, or excuse me, he had more interceptions than completed passes. Yeah. It's like, if that's on tape, that's bad.
That's not good.
That follows you forever, just like death. So, It's just, man, I don't understand why it's so hard to comprehend.
I mean,
If you do bad at your job in real, like I say real life, but every day, like our jobs, if we do bad at our job, we get fired. Like,
sorry,
you're bad at your job, you have to, they're hiring him assuming that he's not so good at his job. He has to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Just like he has to do.
Even look at RG3, a top 5 draft pick. Like, he's backing up right now Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he's digging it because they're killing it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, but you have to I mean, you can be a top 5 draft pick and still, 3-4 years later be fighting for a job. Like, for a backup job.
Mitch Trubisky might have to do that. Cam Newton comes to town.
Yeah. I mean, very well. I mean, Cam might not have a job in Carolina next year.
You hate to see it.
Like, I mean, there's all kinds of, like, Tom Brady's going to have to fight for his job at some point.
Yeah, I mean, it's either going to be like Robert Kraft is going to be like, you're going to start Brady, or Belichick's going to be like, yep, I quit. Like, just something in the front office is going to have to go down.
Yeah. I mean,
47, I want to retire. Dude, you will die.
Yeah. Yeah, 47. Like,
47.
Tom's good.
Sure. Look at some of his deep ball passes this year, and you tell me how good he is. People.
I don't think this year is. I wouldn't watch Tom's tape this year to be like, oh, he's an elite quarterback. I think he's good. I think he's still okay.
You could play his tape in an old folks' home, and they'll ask who's hiring. I'm just saying.
I'm not a huge fan. I think Tom, like I've said it 1,000 times on this.
Legendary quarterback, one of the best to ever do it, 100%.
But if he keeps it up, he's going to go down as the guy that stayed too long.
He's going to be the second Favre.
Yeah.
Now, Favre, I think, has done a lot to correct his legacy with patching things up at Green Bay and Aaron and all that stuff. But yeah, Brady will be that guy.
Except Kraft is going to like try and make him stay in New England.
Hey, man, as long as you still got... I'm not even going to finish that joke. I can't have that one on tape. Fill in your own answers there on that one. So
Kraft.
Yeah.
Macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, so next week, like, I'm on bye. And so, well, like I said, I want to talk about, there are some people who... I commented on it's like a fan-driven Packers Twitter, we'll say. It's I'll pull it up. I think it's like Packers Daily or something like that. It said, who's the MVP of the defense? And it's pretty much universally Zadarius Smith. But I commented, I said, hands down, Zadarius Smith is the MVP right now going into the bye. But who's the most valued, or at least under whatever you want to say, like not looked at the most or given enough credit? Definitely Jair Alexander. Or excuse me, Kevin King. Why did I say Jair Alexander? I don't know why. But Kevin King. Kevin King's been balling. And then someone commented about how trash he was and all this stuff. And he was like, well, the pass rush is making him good. I'm like, okay. But he's still, you realize Amari Cooper was dicing up Jair. I love Jair. Lost jersey as a rookie. But you know what happened when they moved Kevin King over to Amari Cooper when we played him? He got a fucking interception. Oh, my God. So, anyway, we'll get into some of that because people think that we wasted our number 12 pick on Gary. I'm like, I really don't see how you can say that. If we have two, I mean, I don't know if I consider them fully elite, but they're on the way. So Darius and Preston Smith, they definitely complement each other well. But if one of those guys go down, you got Rashawn Gary, who's huge at 277, and he can move whatever. He runs like a 4.8 or something dumb.
Yeah.
Inhuman. So, all right. So tonight, since we always like to get together on Thursdays, Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Gotta give it to Pittsburgh. Their defense, for some reason, gets... Well, Minkah Fitzpatrick has already got 2 pick sixes, and he's doing really well for himself.
Yeah. He said, I'm out. I want cold weather. I'm out of Miami. Get me out of here.
Later. So I'm going to give it to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think as much as I want to pick Cleveland to say, they have to save their season.
Have you tallied, by the way?
I have not tallied.
Did you tally on vacation?
No, I have not.
Hashtag when will Justin tally?
Never. Until I'm winning by a lot. Yeah, I would say Steelers as well.
All right, so then we got Jets at DC. So I think I picked up in my scratch league. I think I picked up Washington's defense in just a random PPR league. So
Jets, Jets.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give this one to the Jets though as well.
Yeah, I'm going Jets.
New Orleans and Tampa Bay. Going to give it to Drew. I need a good fantasy day.
Has to be
But
Tampa.
which Jameis is gonna show up there, right?
Yeah, which Winston has to
Throw for 600.
Yeah, has to throw for 600. Yeah, Tampa Bay is not going to win that game, especially since New Orleans lost last week. They have to have a statement.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tampa Bay.
Denver at Minnesota. As much as I would wish Denver could pull this off, Minnesota's going to win. So that's going to be unfortunate. Buffalo at Miami. Going to give that one to Buffalo.
I am too. God, don't make me a liar.
Next week's going to be awesome.
So
a lot of tension.
Robbie?
Yeah.
Do anything else but watch the game this week?
Yeah, I got you. There's plenty to watch at once. So I think I'm going to go with the Denver Minneapolis game. There.
Anything but watch the Bills game.
Yeah, that's cool. Actually, I might watch. I think I actually have to watch the Dallas at Detroit because my wife is at work. So,
it's all good. I mean, you can watch it if you had that much to do with it.
I don't think I should.
If you had that much to do with it, there are other things that we need to talk about.
I mean, it's true. What I'll do is I won't make it my primary screen.
Oh,
I'll have it on the back, no audio.
Word.
Yeah, I'll ease my way out. All right, so Jacksonville at Indianapolis, which is interesting because I don't know if Brissett's playing.
I don't know. I think he's going to be back.
Well, then
Jacksonville, is it Nick Foles back yet?
Whew, be interesting one then.
Let's come back to that one.
Okay, all right, it's fine. Dallas at Detroit.
Dallas.
See, it's interesting because I gave Dallas the win last week, thinking they got to show up against a good team. And Detroit isn't necessarily a good team, but they have a better quarterback than what Dallas usually plays.
Yeah.
So
usually I'm more on your division than you are. Usually I pick
as an upset. All right, my upset's going to be Detroit because they're 3-5. That's an upset, right?
Yeah.
I'm going with Detroit then.
I think Dallas is going to win.
All right, there we go.
I feel confident, and I never feel confident in Dallas because I don't want to because I just don't like Dallas. But
I picked Detroit, so hopefully I win. Atlanta at Carolina. I'm going to pick Carolina because I picked up DJ Moore in fantasy. So
yeah, I think I have to pick Carolina.
Atlanta's just not good.
I don't know what happened last week, but
yeah, I don't know either. I mean, they showed up for that division game, so I mean, but if they win this week, then but at still at 7 losses in the NFC, you're out. You're already out.
Yeah, I mean,
you're definitely on the outside looking in, homie. Like a lot of stuff has to happen.
You need some help.
Carolina you have to completely win, and a lot of stuff has to happen.
Yeah, Carolina. I mean, they have the offense to be able to do it, but is their defense going to show up enough games? I don't think so.
No. So
Carolina.
Carolina, Houston at Baltimore. Gonna be a good game, I think. I'm gonna have to watch that one too. Damn, there's 3 bangers. And I'll call yours a banger because hey, we do this together.
We're in this together. I want to say Baltimore, but I feel like Houston is gonna win. Does that make sense?
I don't know, man, because Baltimore is some kind of hot right now. I'm gonna give it to Baltimore, 1 to counter you, 2 just because Lamar Jackson's got that swag rocking.
He's good. Like, I think. Yeah.
Oh my god.
He good.
Yeah, he's solid, 100%.
Oh,
if I ever meet him, I'll be like, hey, I'm sorry.
I want to say Baltimore for some reason, but I think.
Go ahead and pick him.
I don't know if I want to pick him because I've picked him before and they've let me down.
Like he says, man, not bad for running back, bro.
Ooh, not bad for a running back. He got an arm.
He's to tone in a little bit of accuracy, but he's young.
Yeah. I mean, just shoot.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. I wouldn't buy his jersey, but
well, no, I would never buy the jersey of
I would draft him in fantasy.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Right? Like, yeah. I mean, you can say other players are good on other teams. I would never buy any of their stuff.
Yeah. Let's go with I'll go Houston. I will.
All right, cool. I got Baltimore.
That might be my upset pick.
Oh, why you think Houston's an upset at 6-3? We're not looking at Vegas odds. I'm not doing all that. At 6-3, Houston's an upset in this.
What's Baltimore?
7-2.
6 is smaller than 7.
Okay. All right then.
I don't know. That might be my upset. Go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. Arizona at San Fran. You can pick that upset.
No.
I'm definitely picking San Francisco.
But Arizona, the last time they played, put up numbers.
I know they put up.
It's at San Fran though, right?
That is yeah, it is. But that's
that's
why I'm picking them. It's just because they're at home. Like you're right about that. Now, if they upset them, 2 L's before Green Bay, whoo, that's a momentum right there, man. Like, sure, they're motivated, but golly.
I'm sorry. If they lose this game, I will pick San Francisco for Green Bay.
Oh, are you okay? All right.
They can't win 3. They can't lose 3 in a row.
Yes, they can.
I mean, they could.
It is Aaron Rodgers.
I'm just saying.
Aaron.
I'm just saying.
Don't you understand? It's a Darius Smith.
I'm just saying, like, it's a momentum league, and you can't. If you're
2 L's is a shit ton of negative momentum, though. So
if you believe in San Francisco, 3, that'd be tough.
All right.
But I'm going San Francisco, so we don't have to worry about that.
New England at Philly, which I think is an actual interesting game.
I'm picking Philly.
I wanted to pick 2 upsets because I want to give it to Philly too. You're right. I'm just picking Philly. Philly's going to
straight up
6-4, and that's going to open the door for you guys.
It's got to. I mean, we still need help at that point.
But that would be great.
That would be awesome.
Cincy at Oakland, they're 0-9. Cincy is, so I mean,
Cincy's getting their quarterback from Oregon.
Ooh. So
yeah, I'm definitely going Oakland.
And then Chicago at LA, which is an interesting game. That's Sunday night. That's a pretty good game for Sunday night.
LA, I'll go LA.
Really? And why is that? Is that because of Mitch?
Yes. Chicago's defense hasn't been as good, I think.
Well, I'm told that HaHa's playing up right now. I don't believe it, but that's what I'm told.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that doesn't affect.
I don't know. I think. Well, but the thing is, again, LA isn't the same. But I think you're right. I don't think that Chicago is going to stop them as much as they think they can.
I mean, Chicago's D line, like Khalil Mack, I think could do some work to go off.
Don't you love spending all that money just to be a 4-5? I'd love to see it.
But I mean, I think Jalen Ramsey is gonna be able to. I just think, even though
it's Allen Robinson versus Jalen Ramsey, I'm going to give it to Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like you can't.
If it's Allen Robinson Green Bay versus Jalen Ramsey, I mean, you picked the wrong contract, buddy.
Yeah, but Jalen Ramsey can't cover 3 people.
Nope, he can't. That's true.
But he can cover 1.
But Mitch can't throw to any of them, so what does it matter, really?
Yeah. No, Rams, no.
I'm taking that. And that one's at home, too, even though they never sell tickets to that game, because there's a million more things to do in L.A. than watch football.
Or watch the Chargers.
Yeah. So speaking of that, it's Kansas City at the Chargers on Monday night. So, Kansas City
sounds right, feels right. What's L.A.?
4-6. Beat us. But I'm pretty sure the whole team was hungover.
What did they do last week?
What did they do?
What did LA do last week?
Pretty sure they lost.
Did they?
Wait, the week before? We lost to the Chargers the week before. They beat us.
Did they play last week?
Oh, that game, that I don't know.
Let me see. Let me just check real quick.
Sure. Go ahead. We have computers here.
Just check.
I don't have any Chargers players on my fantasy team, so I can't check.
Let's see. They played Oakland. Did they win?
No, I'm pretty sure Oakland beat the Chargers.
Yeah. For all that, yeah, we're not going to bet on the Chargers.
Going KC.
Yeah.
All right, so we have to go back to this Jacksonville Indy game. We haven't picked yet.
Indy.
Really?
Thought about it.
So Jacoby's playing. Really?
I don't know if he's playing, but.
Well, I need Marlon Mack to have a good game in fantasy.
I just don't like Jacksonville. That's really what it comes down to.
I like Nick Foles, though.
He's all right.
Yeah, I think first game back for Foles, I think he's got to shake some rust off, especially off a collarbone, because Packers fans recall I was actually at the Carolina game when Rodgers came back, and I was expecting, Aaron Rodgers, but he hadn't played in 6-8 weeks, and it's a collarbone.
Yeah.
So you're probably right. I'm going to give it to Indy as well.
I like Indy. I'm not a huge fan of Jacksonville.
They have less players every day.
Mostly because of Doug Marrone, ex-Bills coach. Opted out of his contract after going 9-7, I believe.
Okay.
and was basically like, "This isn't for me." And he's the reason why we had Rex Ryan
Mm.
because it was slim pickings at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I never got your take on that.
What, Rex?
Yeah.
Fuck Rex.
Wow. All right. Well, that was a hot one.
I mean, he's a great.
Did he get the Bills tattoo?
I guess
That was so funny.
he talked like a battleship, but he had a rowboat ass. Let's just put it that way. Battleship mouth with a rowboat ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Rex is a solid defensive coordinator, but he was a players coach, they say, and I'm gonna, we can air quotes that.
Air quotes.
But like he was a players coach, but never like, to me, if the players, they committed a lot of penalties, like he just.
You're saying that, I think we had talked about a couple weeks ago, Mike Tomlin being a players coach, but the Steelers are winning now. So would you say the problem is Mike Tomlin? Can't be now. They're winning.
I don't know. Like, I think that's tough. Like, the Steelers are a great organization. Mike Tomlin,
It's tough to say right now, right?
Yeah. Is he a good coach? I think he's a good coach.
The Super Bowl.
Do I think he's a great coach? I don't know. Like, he's like that, like, kind of, I guess for coaching, like, longevity is probably the ultimate compliment.
Oh, yeah.
And he is the second or third, like, longest tenured coach in the NFL right now.
Yeah, because Mike McCarthy was one of the most tenured well, not one of the most, but he was up there in that range.
Belichick. So. It might be Tomlin, too. He might be, too.
Yeah, that might be right.
So, I mean, he's got to be. And, AB went crazy.
He handled it pretty well, especially if you had to contain that week to week.
I mean, so maybe I'm giving a little bit more respect to Tomlin than I did last week.
If he had to go back there every week and deal with that, okay.
And, I mean, it's not like Bell's an angel. I mean, I would take Bell over AB.
He's bad at math.
I would take Bell over AB.
Yeah, because you can get him for cheaper.
That's true. Actually, I don't know about right now.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, sick.
Yeah.
Well, that'll lead us into my boring week, but
hey, I mean, hopefully
it is. I mean, hey, but it's a fun bye week though. To be 8-2, healthy.
Healthy's like
it's a Sunday I get to sleep in unless we're playing basketball.
I think we should play basketball.
Yeah, we should.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah, let's play basketball.
Word.
Cool. Let's been Counting by 7. I'm Robbie.
And I'm Justin.
We'll see you next week.
Later.